Toronto has two airports. One is small airport, Billy Bishop Airport, and another one is one of the biggest airport, Pearson International Airport. Today I will talk about the all details about the airports, airport operation, type of aircraft, number of passengers, revenue, airlines, and the runway configuration. All the important details and comprehensive information about these two airports. First, I will talk about Billy Bishop Airport. It's a small airport and it's located in the downtown on Toronto Island, just short ferry tunnel ride from the mainland. Primary use mainly serve regional and short haul flights within Canada and USA. And primarily two airlines operates Air, Air Canada and Porter Airlines. A key feature. This airport is extremely close to the downtown, just 3 kilometers away, making it very convenient for business travelers. But the problem is that it doesn't offer large international flights and focuses on smaller aircraft like turboprop and regional jets connected to the mainland via pedestrian tunnels, and there is no need for taxi. Just when you arrive at the airport, just cross the tunnel under the water to reach at the airport. So this small airport, Willie Bishop Airport, offer limited destination like Montreal, Ottawa, New York, Boston, and Chicago. Now, whereas the Toronto Pearson International Airport, it is located about 22 kilometers northwest of downtown Toronto. It's Canada's largest and busiest airport, handling international, transcontinental, and domestic flights. Airlines. So, airlines, Pearson Airport serve all major global carriers like Air Canada, WestJet, Delta, Lufthansa, Emirates, and many others. I'll give you the description in the text because around 33 airlines operate from this airport. And this airport has got two main terminals, Terminal 1 and Terminal 3, with extensive global connection, hub for Air Canada and major gateway for flight to Europe, Asia and beyond. Offer extensive amenities including lounges, hotel, shopping, and connected to downtown via Union Pearson Express train. That trains take around 25-minute ride from the Union station to the airport, and it has got taxis and highways, Gardner Express and 401 via taxi. The key differences between these two airports. Billy Bishop is a small, convenient for quick trips and close to downtown, whereas Pearson is a major global hub with long-haul flight but require more travel time and to and from the city. Now I'll talk about the passenger traffic and revenue. Here is the estimated breakdown of the passenger traffic and revenue for Toronto two major airports based on the available data and the industry averages. First, the Billy Bishop Airport. Normally, its three-letter abbreviation is YTZ. Billy Bishop YTZ, or City Airport was the older name. So, passenger traffic per day, it's around 5,000 to 7,000 passengers, and per month around 150,000 to 200,000 passengers. So, Billy Bishop offer around 2.5 million to 3 million passengers per year, and peak at 2.8 million was reported in 2019. So annual revenue If we talk about its 2 to 2.5 billion Canadian dollar, one of the Canada most profitable airport, and aeronautical fee, landing terminal charges. Again, the annual revenue for Billy Bishop Airport is 50 to 70 million Canadian dollar from landing fee, terminal service. Concession sources is primarily airline fee, parking, rental, and Porter Airline, as well as the anchor tenant. Whereas the Toronto Pearson International Airport, the passenger traffic per day is 110,000 to 130,000 passengers, and it was reported 2023 to 2024 average per month is 3.5 to 4 million passengers, and per year is 45 to 50 million passengers, and it was reported in 2023 annual revenue is 2.25 Canadian on one of the Canada most profitable airports. If we break down the aeronautical charges, landing terminal charges 40%, and retail, food, concessions, and parking, ground transport, it's around 15% each. The keynote: Billy Bishop is a niche serving regional traveler, while Pearson is a global hub. Pearson revenue is 30 to 50 times higher due to scale, international traffic, and cargo operation. So now I will explain the airline and what type of aircraft both of airports handled separately. Here is the detailed breakdown of the airline and the aircraft type operating at Toronto two major airports. Billy Bishop, YTZ, airline operating. There are normally two airlines operate. Porter Airlines, primary carrier, 90% traffic. Air Canada, limited regional routes. Now the aircraft types. They normally operate with the Dash 8 Q400. It's a turboprop, propeller and turbo, and it has the capacity of 78 passengers in one aircraft. Another aircraft type is Embraer. It's a jet porter new aircraft, and it has the capacity of 132 passengers in one aircraft. It was introduced in 2023 for longer routes. And another aircraft is a Beechcraft 1900. It's a small, again, turboprop aircraft used for Canada Express. It's now not operate too much. The problem is that they don't offer the large jet aircraft because it has a limited runway length. At one side there is a water, and other side it's a city limits. In between they have made a limited runway, just accommodate the small turboprop and Boeing 737. Now I'll come to Pearson International Airport. It's a three-letter abbreviation is YYZ. Airlines operating, it's a major airlines are Air Canada. It's a hub carriers for global routes. WestJet is for domestic and international focus. US carriers like Delta, United, American Airlines. And international carriers, the airlines like Lufthansa, Emirates, British Airways, Air India, Cathay Pacific, Etihad, and many others. And they also offer, the Pearson also offer the cargo, FedEx, UPS, and CargoJet and DHL. Now, at Pearson Airport, the aircraft type handled. It's range from the narrow body jets and Airbus 320, 321, Boeing 737, operated by Air Canada, WestJet, and US carriers. Whereas Airbus 220, it's operated by Canada Regional Jet replacement. Wide-body jets for long-haul flights like Boeing 777, Boeing 787, Airbus 330, and Airbus 380. So for Boeing 747 and Boeing 777, it's used for cargo operation like FedEx, and regional jets like Embraer. It is operated by Air Canada and WestJet. Other aircraft like Airbus 380, it's one of the biggest aircraft. It is operated by Emirates Airline. So Pearson Airport handles everything from a small regional jet to the world's largest fleets. Runway accommodations is Jumbo Jet, Boeing 777 and Airbus 380. Now the key differences. Billy Bishop YTZ. Largest aircraft operated at Billy Bishop is Embraer. 132 seat I already told. And primary airlines are Porter Airline and Air Canada. For short haul flight, not for Eastern. Whereas the Pearson YYZ, it is operated by Boeing 777, Airbus 380, which has 400 plus seats and 50 plus global airlines, all sizes including freighters and typical flight range, global, Asia, Europe, etc. Now I'll explain the key destination served by both airports, categorized by airline and flight type. Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport YTZ primary airport and primary airline Porter Airline focus short-haul flights for Canada and US Northeast. Domestic destination from Billy Bishops are Montreal, Ottawa, Halifax and Quebec City. And some flights for St. John's also, it's a seasonal and limited. Billy Bishop also offer the US destination like New York, major business route, Boston, Chicago, Washington, and just seasonal flight for Orlando, just for vacational package. So all flights are operated by Dash Q400 and other small aircrafts, and no cross-continental long-haul cargo domestic. And also for Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, and St. John. So for Toronto Pearson International Airport, primary airlines are Air Canada, WestJet, 50 global carriers, focus on global connection, long haul, cargo, and domestic. For domestic, within Canada, it's Pearson offers Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Eastern Canada like Montreal, Halifax, and St. John. For US major hubs at Pearson Airport, they offer New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, southern US like Miami, Dallas, and Atlanta. And Pearson Airport offers the long-haul international flight. For Europe, they operate London, Paris, Frankfurt, Amsterdam. For Asia, they operate some direct flight to Delhi, Tokyo, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Middle East. Middle East, they operate Dubai, Doha, Latin America like Mexico City, Cancun, and Sao Paulo. And Pearson Airport also offers cargo destination like FedEx, UPS, they operate for Memphis, Louisville, and Cologne. Cargo jet normally they operate also to Hamilton and South American Europe hub. So wide body Boeing 787 and Airbus 350 at Pearson handle long-haul routes. US pre-clearance available for faster connection. The key contrast: Billy Bishop YTZ. It ranges regional maximum up to 2000 km, whereas the Pearson, it's a global and its range up to 15,000 km routes. For US reach, YTZ, Billy Bishop Northwest, Midwest, and for YYZ Pearson, it's coast to coast plus hub Los Angeles, JFK, Atlanta, and overseas flight, whereas the Billy Bishop Airport doesn't operate those flights. And Pearson Airport for Europe, Asia, Middle East, Latin America, cargo for minimal passenger focused major fleet operations of FedEx, DHL, and CargoJet. So if we talk about the Billy Bishop small airport, excel for quick trip to nearby cities, while Pearson Connect to the world need more specific, that is seasonal route. So now I'll explain the runways at the Pearson and Billy Bishop Airport. Runway specification. Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport YTZ runway, they have only one runway. One is just crossing runway. It's rarely used for crosswind component, but the main runway is 08 and 26. Its length is 3,988 feet and paved, handle all traffics for smaller operation. Whereas the strong crosswind runways 15 and 33, it has a length of 2,803 feet, and they don't offer parallel landing because they have a small airport, as I told you, due to limitations. At one side it's a water, other side is city. Now the Toronto Pearson International Airport. That airport has a 5 runways and runway north-south parallel runways. Runway 05, 23 left. Its length is around 11,120 feet. That's the longest, handles heavy jets. Whereas the runway 05 and 23 right, its length is 9,000 feet. It's for east-west parallel runways. The other runways are runway 06 left and 25 right. It has a length of 8,900 feet, and whereas the runway 06 right and 24 left has 9,000 feet. And the last, it's runway number 5 is runway 15 and 33. It has also around 11,000 feet, and it just for crosswind runway, rarely used, just for the backup for the strong wind conditions. So parallel landing is only available at Pearson Airport because 2 aircraft land side by side on a parallel runway, and that's independent approaches are allowed on 05 and 23 left and 05, 23 right. These runways are around 1.2 kilometer apart, and on runways 06 and 24 right and 06, 24 left, it has a closer specification, closer spacing, and required staggered landing. Normally they don't operate simultaneously landing on those runways. The key comparisons. So Billy Bishop has only one runway. It's one is intersecting runway, that's only for crosswind component, whereas Pearson has two parallel pairs and one crosswind. So maximum runway length is for YTZ Billy Bishop is 3,988 feet and for Pearson is 11,120 feet. Again, the YTZ no parallel landing. For YYZ they do operate for parallel runway. So fun fact is that Pearson parallel runways allow it to operate like mega hub that is Atlanta and Dallas, while Billy Bishop short runway focus unique approaches over Lake Ontario because they have some sort of a limited approach procedure because they have to come from the lake and make an approach for landing. Transport options. So what the transport options are available? So pedestrian tunnels is free and fastest. Time is 5-minute walk to airport entrance from mainland via Merlin Bell Tunnel. It's access from the Bathurst Street to the Lakeshore Boulevard. And it has also the ferry. It has a scenic view, but it's slower. And it take a 5-minute walk to the airport entrance via tunnel. So from ferry, it takes around 10 to 15-minute waiting time and take 2-minute rides from the land to the terminal. The access to YTZ Billy Bishop. For taxi, Uber or Lyft, it takes around 10 minutes from downtown, drop off at the airport entrance, and it costs about $15 to $20. Or you can take the public transit like streetcar 509 Harbourfront to Ferry Dock and Funnel Ferry. It takes around 20 minutes. Now for the Toronto Pearson, the big airport, as I earlier told you, it's around 22 to 30 kilometers away from the downtown, depending on the route, and its travel time in normal traffic it takes around 25 to 60 minutes, varies according to the traffic. So transport option for Pearson. One is if you don't have a lot of luggage, you can take Union Pearson train, fast and most reliable. It takes around 25 minutes from downtown to Pearson and it costs about $12.35 for adult and frequency is around 15 to 30 minutes. Another option is taxi, Uber or Lyft. It takes around 30 to 60 minutes depending on traffic and it costs about $50 to $80. Public transport, number 3 option. At TTC or MyWay, the route at TTC subway line and one to Kipling station. From Kipling station you have to take another bus. It takes around 60 to 75 minutes and cost about $7. And number 4 option is car rental or shuttle service. It takes about 30 to 50 minutes. It takes Highway 427 and Gardner Express and the parking $25 to $40 short-term loss. Now the key comparisons, the factors, the best for YTZ Billy Bishop, quick downtown access. For YYZ, it's a Pearson, the global long-haul flights. The cheapest way for Billy Bishop is free tunnel ferry. For Pearson, TTC and Midway $7. Fastest way for Billy Bishop is 10 minutes, a taxi tunnel. For Pearson, 25 minutes, Union Pearson. And most scenic for YYZ, like Pearson Airport, it's a highway view and traffic jams. Whereas for Billy Bishop, it's a ferry ride, it's a scenic view. And if you use the tunnel, its tunnel is under the water. It takes around 5 minutes. For YYZ, I will suggest if you don't have much luggage, Union Pearson Express is the best option during rush hour. Now I'll explain the frequency of flights. At Billy Bishop Airport for Montreal, Porter Airlines, they operate around 15 flights daily, and for Ottawa, 10 flights daily. And for Halifax, it's seasonal and year-round demand. For top US destinations from Billy Bishop, it's for New York, it's 6 flight daily. For Boston, 4 to 5 daily flights. For Chicago, Midway, it's competitive with Pearson at Midwest connection. So all routes are served by, I already told you that smaller aircraft, Dash Q400 and Embraer. Whereas the Toronto Pearson Airport, the top destination, Vancouver, they offer 100 weekly flights by Air Canada and WestJet. For Calgary, 80 weekly flights for business traffic. For Montreal, 70 weekly flights. For US destinations like New York, 150 weekly flights operated by Air Canada and Delta United. For Los Angeles, it's a 70 flights per week, Starlines and hubs. For Chicago, it's around 60 weekly flights, Ohio in connection. And top international routes like London, it offers 50 weekly flights by Air Canada and British Airways and Virgin. For Delhi, it's operates 28 weekly flights operated by Air Canada, Air India and heavy VFR traffic. For Dubai, it's operates around 21 weekly flights by Emirates connecting to Middle East Asia. So for cargo, busiest routes like Memphis, operated by FedEx, for Louisville, operated by UPS, and for Anchorage, Key Asia, America cargo stopover. So key Billy Bishop busiest short haul business routes, Montreal, New York, Ottawa, where Pearson busiest transcontinental like Vancouver, Los Angeles, and global hub London, Delhi, seasonal spike, and YYZ also like Pearson Airport operate for Cancun in winter, Frankfurt in summer. Whereas YTZ Billy Bishop they offer for Florida and Myrtle Beach in winter. These are the detailed information about these two airports, and if you want a real-time statistic, you can check with the Flight Radar 24 or Airport Authority reports. And thank you very much. These are the all complete details about the Pearson and Billy Bishop Airport. Thank you very much. And don't forget to subscribe and like, share for more information about other things in Toronto and other part of the world. Thank you. Bye.